Hello, welcome to Amateur Hour episode 27. We are going to be talking
Woo-hoo.
zebras instead of piggies, the Michigan Manifesto, and Cyclones playing Waco this weekend. Joey, how you doing?
Good, except I need a haircut. I just realized I look like if Mose Schrute had a baby with a Sasquatch right now. I got
Yeah.
the Mose Sasquatch
Mose.
cut and beard going.
I don't think it helps that I comb my hair back and looks real sleek, and then like you said, you look like Mose there.
Yeah, I woke up from a nap. I didn't bring any hats this week, so forgive me. Screw you if you think my hair looks bad.
That's what they tune in for, is how our hair looks, Joey. So
Exactly. But
I
yeah,
mean, no
otherwise I'm
offense.
good, man.
Good. Well, I would say no offense. I think we need to jump into it because we got a lot that we can actually talk about this week between the big scandal in Michigan, Iowa's horrid offense, and your feelings on it, and just everything else in between here. But we can't start that with what the hell did you do with the
Turned it to
the
spooky one.
captions here?
Hell yeah. This is why they don't let me play with stuff, kids. I just fuck it up.
Oh God. Well, I would say, we can't start this without at least a little trivia so we can learn something along the way here. The first one is going to be Bo Nix just started for Oregon here. He has the most starts at a QB all time. Do you know how many games he started in college?
I'm gonna go 70.
Oh God, a little lower than that. It's 54 games, and he's going to continue on that streak this weekend.
So I gave him one extra year. Okay, cool. That's fine.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, I would say, but I mean that's insane. I mean, you got to think about it. If a guy started, 3 years going into his junior year, he's probably leaving for the NFL at that point. Just odd that he's been good enough and then come back and then COVID year. I don't know if this one gets broken, man.
Yeah, I don't know, especially with those COVID rules. It's kind of like all those wrestlers that had a chance to go for 5 and all that stuff, and then just ended up doing it. I don't think it does happen again unless there's another global pandemic, but I don't think it happens.
Oh God, finger crossed we don't deal with that, man. So, next one, because it's going to have a nice little tie in here. Can you name the first national champion in college football history that is currently a Power 5 school? And I'm going to tell you now, I didn't count 1869 with Rutgers because that season was 2 games.
Okay,
that one, it was Princeton them and then Rutgers Princeton. I'm not going to count that. They didn't have many teams, but can you name the first national champion currently in a Power 5? That's a current Power 5 school.
Fuck. Can I ask a follow-up question?
Sure.
Does it go by the same name now as it did then?
Yes.
Okay. I just want to make sure it wasn't like Chicago that got switched to Northwestern or some shit.
Nope.
All right. I'm going to go UConn.
Similar colors. I'll give you one more guess.
Okay.
Here's your clue. It's a Big Ten school.
And similar colors to UConn.
Not all of them. One.
Right.
One main color.
Okay. Michigan.
There you go. Hey. I was like, if he's thinking blue and gray, he's not going to get it.
Yeah, I was like, wait, who has blue and gray? Is that Penn State? Like, do they have alternate colors? Or...
No. I was just going to edge you along, get you to it. But yeah, Michigan is the national champion, I believe, in 1902. And that kind of brings us to our first topic here, Joey.
Nice. Well, we already brought up edging, so...
Whoa. To recap it real quick, if anyone is not familiar, Michigan has been sending a assistant coach, and this isn't speculation where it's a low-end assistant and they're trying to say he kind of did it on his own. Within the last 3 hours, Joey, they have proven there's going to be documents coming out that prove they've had budgets, they're spending money, they have a network of people that's going around that buy up tickets, video record the opponent's sidelines, and steal their signs, which is... I don't know how so many people are confused by this. It's completely different than in-game or scouting. You can't send someone in ahead of time.
Right.
But yeah, it's just come out where this is a lot more than just one, oddly enough, the one guy who has the Michigan Manifesto, a 600-page document talking about how he's going to run this Michigan team. They are. This was an operation, man. They attended 5 games, 17 stadiums, 11 Big Ten opponents. Which I want your take on this after I get through it. But this was elaborate. This wasn't just we're going to go see what Minnesota's doing so we don't lose the little brown jug or something. This was going to playoff opponents. This was everything. But one funny thing: who do you think were the opponents he didn't send to certain Iowa games? Or I'm sorry, certain Big Ten teams. I kind of think Iowa.
Well, I mean, yeah. Look at the offense. Why do you scout anything from Iowa other than how far can Torrey Taylor kick the goddamn ball?
Yeah.
I honestly have no idea what to think about this. I'm pretty sure every team does some sort of scouting, some sort of stuff like this. To me, it's the equivalent of Bill Belichick with the videotape scandal stuff. Like, they're pushing the limits. They got caught doing something stupid. I don't know. Harbaugh is going to go for the national championship this year. Nothing's going to happen to him this year, and then he'll be 3 playoff wins deep in the NFL before this even catches up to him. So I don't know. It's a thing. I don't think Michigan needs to do this, obviously, based on the scores and stuff they're putting up this year, just dominating the fuck out of people, and how bad the Big Ten normally is. But yeah, just stupidity on their part to do this and then to also get caught.
Now, it's interesting you bring that up because, no offense, I think he does need this. Because if you remember, I've been doing my own little research. I got my own even notes app. I got a shit ton of notes here.
Look at you,
that I was
Harbaugh.
Yeah, I was spying on them. I was getting my notes here. COVID year, they were 2-4. If you remember, they quit on the season, health precautions, whatever. They were losing to Rutgers, Michigan State consistently. They were not in a good spot there. Immediately, they hire this guy, and they go from, he's 79-25 all time in Michigan and 1-6 in bowl games. But since they've hired this guy, they're 30-3. So that means he was 49-22, and immediately you turn the corner, and it's 3 straight years of only 3 losses, and 2 of them being opponents that you can't scout beforehand. Yep. That it feels a little off here, man. If you don't mind, I'm gonna rant for a little bit.
I wasn't gonna stop you.
Yeah, I'm gonna skip 2021 and 2022. Those ones, because you can even make the argument, hey, Georgia was a very dominant team that year, and with Michigan State, that was Kenneth Walker not only running over Michigan, it's coming, and I'm still gonna run over you, but that's 2021. 2022, they're 13-1. The only loss, the only team that they couldn't scout ahead of time. But I guess let me rephrase that. Let me get the graphic up here. But part of this elaborate scheme was they said that they went to 35 different stadiums. They went to Ohio State and Penn State games that we were talking about. They had people go to Clemson. They had people go to Alabama. They had people go to Georgia, Tennessee. They had people going to all these SEC schools. You want to know what the top 8 at the time was?
SEC schools.
They literally went through all of these schools except for TCU, which at that point, to their credit, I think that might have been the Baylor winning on a last-second field goal as the team, the kicker was running out at that point. Great play. But, probably the smartest if they had to budget for only 6 teams, they chose the right one not to pick at the time.
Right,
but
right.
They literally chose every other school besides TCU on that list here. I put on the graphic here. They have pieces of paper with hand signals, pre-made, laminated. It wasn't they were writing stuff down and they know it. That's pre-made, known before the game. That one, the second picture is just the spread, since he's been hired. And you can make the argument, hey, they are just playing the better teams, kind of is what it is. Each of his quarterbacks the last 3 years since Connor Stallions has been hired on, McNamara in 2021, he threw for 15 touchdowns, 4 interceptions, and got sacked 7 times. I know Caden McNamara throwing for touchdowns. It's insane here.
Oh my God, that's the only point that I'm going to get out of this whole thing is Caden McNamara had 15 touchdowns in a season. God damn it.
Yeah, 15 touchdowns, 4 interceptions, 7 sacks in the regular season. The one postseason game, 0 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, half his season total, and 4 sacks in the postseason, over half of his season total. J.J. McNamara last year, 20 touchdowns, 3 interceptions, 9 sacks in the regular season, and they never had more than 2 in a game. So sacked a little bit more. In the postseason, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, 2/3 of his interceptions all year, and 3 sacks in the postseason, a third of the sacks that they had in the season. And then this year so far, J.J. McCarthy, 21 touchdowns, 3 interceptions, all 3 interceptions in the non-conference versus UNLV.
Well, you can definitely throw out this year's stats because they haven't played anyone that's doing anything. So I bet Connor Stallions got the year off, to be honest with you.
I'm just saying, man, like you compare these stats versus, Eastern Carolina. I don't care. You're going to luck into some touchdowns or into some interceptions eventually. Yeah, that shit isn't just coincidental. This is,
but like I said before, I mean, it's probably something that happens everywhere. They just got fucking caught.
Do you honestly think Iowa has a spreadsheet of an elaborate budget that goes down and goes, okay, we're going to travel to 6 different schools here this weekend. We're going to scout them. We're going to steal their stuff. That's not like, hey, we're scouting and the all 22 has the signs on the far side and they're getting them. This is like elaborate cheating.
Yeah.
This is even like gamesmanship in baseball.
I don't know. I have come to the conclusion that I can't expect the best out of college programs anymore, regardless of who they are. And I just assume if we find out someone's doing something bad, literally everyone's doing it bad. That's just how my brain works nowadays. Yes, this is very much more elaborate than just scouting and figuring out who's doing what, who's playing where. But I don't know. Sign stealing is sign stealing. The players still got to execute. Yes, this gives you a leg up. I get that. I completely get that. But I don't know. I think it's less of a deal than you do, obviously, but I still think that he's going to get, punished severely for this. I mean, you can't set up this elaborate of a scheme and not get punished for it.
I mean, you know how much they make going to the playoffs, right?
Right.
$6 million. So must be pretty nice to have a conference that's earned $18 million he's going to make the playoffs this year too, unless he doesn't. Since he didn't get Ohio State and Penn State signs, those might be the 2 games he loses. But the conference ain't going to do anything. They've profited $18 million to have a program scheme and cheat and do everything. And then when it comes to the postseason, we're all acting shocked that Jim Harbaugh shit the bed again.
Right. Nope. I completely understand. I understand why you're mad. I don't know. It, like Mike the Bruin said, it's hard. Iowa should be stealing offensive ideas from their opponents. Iowa should be stealing anything from anybody because none of this is working. But yeah.
I bet you what had happened was someone took their cell phone, ran straight to Kirk's office, and they go, Kirk, right here. I have the opponent's plays right here. He goes, give me that. We're going to throw the tape in. He puts the phone into a VCR. That's how I think Kirk would have done it. I don't think he would have looked at the iPhone at all. I don't know if he knows how to work an iPhone, man.
The only way Kirk knows how to run an iPhone is when he's playing Retro College Bowl, and he's like, run. Oh, did you know you can delay and run a draw? Oh, awesome.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, God, yeah.
Where's the wishbone? Where the hell is it? We need to run more Maryland Eye. I'm surprised Kirk doesn't say that, man.
Fucking Lord.
But, yeah, this one, I think it's going to be terrible. I think it's going to come out worse. Michigan's on a bye this week. They got plenty of time. I am personally hoping that the Big Ten would do I know they won't. It doesn't benefit them at all. But I would hope that the Big Ten kind of does something. Fire Harbaugh, vacate wins. I mean, they got to do something. I don't know how this meme got in there, but
I like it a lot. The Michigan man crying while Bryant's just over there laughing.
Yeah.
I hope that they do punish Jim Harbaugh and it trickles all the way down to Brian Ferentz and he gets fired.
I don't know what the trickle down is, but it needs to get to Brian Ferentz.
Somehow he was in on it.
Jim Harbaugh, no vacated wins. Sure, whatever. Playoffs, whatever. Steal the money from other conferences. We're not mad at all. Mm-hmm. You have to fire Connor Stallions. You have to fire offensive coordinator. You have to take on Brian Ferentz, and you have to work out your contract in Michigan with Brian Ferentz.
Oh, Lord. Oh, my God.
Oh, yeah. That's an Iowa fan's wet dream right there.
You were trying to figure out what the correlation was. I bet Brian is actually on the Michigan payroll, and he's getting paid instead of actually coaching while he's playing. He's stealing signs and just writing that down. And, what's the situation? What do we? Oh, run it. You're good. Just run it.
Oh, oops. Yeah, there.
4th and 24. Run it. We're good.
Fuck it.
Hello, David.
I was watching Western Kentucky because they're kind of like my 3rd, 4th favorite team. The Hilltoppers, the goofy ass mascot. Did you know their dad has the Western Kentucky Stadium is named the Jack and Jackie Harbaugh family stadium?
No.
Yeah, his dad's because we'll have to have a discussion about it later. But we were talking at work what are the families of college football?
Mm-hmm.
And I think unfortunately until this whole thing blew up, we were talking Harbaugh's are up there because Jack, his dad coached, and I can't remember if John did in college. I'm not 100%.
I don't think so.
But those two are big enough where they're, and then Stoops is probably up there. But we'll have to come up with a list of the families of college football.
Oh, hell yeah. That's a good top 5 list for next week. I like that. Yep.
Yes, sir. Let's real quick before we bring the podcast down and we'll let your rant get going. Top 25, top 5. No shocker. Georgia, Michigan, Ohio State, Florida State, Washington.
Mm-hmm.
Anyone in the top 25 that you see that you think doesn't belong, isn't high enough, too high? What do you think?
I don't like USC being at 24. I don't like them being ranked. I don't know who you bring in beside them, but I don't like them being in the top 25. They just look very, very bad. I don't know. I like the rest of the rankings. I think it's moving more into how people are playing now, opposed to, other than Georgia and Michigan still hasn't played anyone, but other than those two, everyone else that's who have you played? What's your resume look like? Those two are still in there because of their preseason ranking type thing.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, otherwise I like it.
I am surprised you didn't think Utah wasn't high enough.
Oh, I mean, I love the Utes. I love Iowa West that actually scores, but it's I don't know. The Pac-12 to me doesn't matter who is ranked and what's going on at this point. I just want to see a champion come out of there unscathed so that they get somewhere in the playoffs.
Sorry, I'm answering Matthews here in the chat
Mm-hmm.
because he's asking who JMU played because they've snuck in at 25.
Mm-hmm.
Their best wins are at Virginia, is their only Power 5 school they've played, and then probably home versus Southern Alabama at Marshall.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
best team in Virginia. I bet they'd even beat Virginia Tech. Probably West Virginia too.
Yeah, well, Virginia, I mean, they just beat North Carolina.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
So JMU better than North Carolina. Who's North Carolina beat? We need to get this transitive power all the way to Georgia somehow.
Did North Carolina beat Duke, and then Duke beat Notre Dame? Notre Dame almost beat Ohio State, so that means JMU could beat Michigan.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Dave, I kind of agree. Washington needs to be 4. Even I agree that Arizona State game was a bit of a fluke. Florida State, we've seen kind of have the chinks in the armor a little bit, where they've had a few games that are a little off, but I'm not going to throw my fist around on it. I honestly, I think this is kind of the fairest 25, the top 25 the last few weeks here. They still got their SEC schools, but I think Missouri and LSU have really picked it up the last couple weeks. Air Force, again, they're 7-0. It's going to pan out. If they're going to be 12-0 at the end of the year, they kind of need to be in the top 25 anyways. So,
yep. Best team in Colorado.
You said you didn't watch a bunch of college football this weekend, Joey?
No, between the Iowa game and the projects that were going sour, I ended up turning it off. I don't know, about halfway through the fourth quarter of that game. But Dave, I agree with you about Washington, other than I don't know if they jumped Florida State, because Florida State's beat a ranked LSU, beat it at the time ranked Clemson, at the time ranked Syracuse, and just beat Duke. I mean, that's 4 ranked teams. Washington, yeah, they haven't gotten into the full heart of their schedule yet, but they did beat Oregon. So, yeah, I'm okay with them being at 5 behind Florida State for right now.
I would say Washington's got plenty of games where they can jump up, you know, especially even 2 or 3, depending on how they do.
I agree.
But the reason I bring up the Air Force game, and I think I texted you guys, they were honoring Staubach's Navy team from like 63 or something, and they brought them all out in the first quarter, and it's kind of nice little, hey, here's everyone. You know, a lot of them were shockingly alive. I know it sounds bad, but like there was quite a decent amount, and they had a game delay because they had to wait for all these geriatrics to get off the field. They're like, you have all 22 people standing waiting, and they're just getting their walkers teetering out on the fucking off the corner of the field. It was
hell yes, they are.
That was one of the pure moments from this last weekend here. Penn State is the Colorado of the Big Ten. Ryan, I need you to elaborate on that because I don't know what the hell you mean with that one. Dude.
All hype can't win the big ones. I agree with him on that point. Penn State's much better than Colorado, but yes, I would agree with that.
It's like because I'll be honest. The first thing I thought it was Deion Sanders and James Franklin. I'm like, those two couldn't have been more polar opposites of each other.
Right.
Both good recruiters, but like you said, I guess losing the big moment, that is probably the big thing.
Right.
Just to get us hard for next year, here's the 12-team playoff. Actually, I'm going to full screen it because I can't quite read it. I mean, doesn't that make you fucking pumped for next year, man?
Yes.
Just looking at how many good games, the teams that would win their conferences get the bye. Air Force gets a shot versus Oregon. It'd be a blowout, but you can't say that the Cincinnatis of the world didn't get their chance or whoever, you know.
I would agree. And then take Penn State out, put the Big Ten West champ over there, and then you're good.
Oh, who's going to be the Big Ten West champ?
I mean, right now, Nebraska. I don't know.
Okay, I do want to see that. I want to see Nebraska sneak in and just get fucking pulverized.
If Nebraska makes a playoff before Iowa, I'm just going to be done watching football. All of football. Forever.
Hey, this will make you feel better. I do have one more graphic before we get to Iowa because I want you positive going into this rant because I think it's going to be a good one. Early bowl projections: Utah, your like third favorite team versus Iowa. They are a 13-point favorite, and just for me, Kentucky SEC playing Iowa State in the Liberty Bowl. Go back to Memphis again.
Hell yes, gotta love Memphis.
A month ago, we were losing to MAC schools, and I was talking about I don't know what we're going to do this year. Now I'm all ready to take on the fucking SEC in a Stoops.
Yeah. Man, I don't know if I would be – I'd have to figure out
the Las Vegas Bowl. I think I could make that maybe happen. No Christmas this year, but that could happen.
I was about to say that would be the most boring game with those backups. That Utah backup, did you catch any of that game?
Yep.
Dude, that kid is – you want to know why Cam Rising ain't coming back this year? It's because Bryson Barnes stole his job. Yeah. That's exactly why.
And Barnes had a QB competition. Jesus, had a QB competition in the very first game, and they were going back and forth. Like it wasn't settled on him to be the starter, and then he's just must have lit it up the last couple of weeks because he looked damn good in that Utah game.
Excuse me. Well, and they had that Nate Johnson starting.
They
struggled versus Baylor, and it was like it was supposed to be a big old controversy, and then Barnes just fucking. They also, with that game, I was loving how USC was subbing it. And this is like one of the few things the defense can actually do to like slow a team down. USC is getting their changes because they know what play they want to do, immediately switching. And Utah kept putting in their fast guy, slowly jogging out, get the other fast. I mean, they were burning like 20 seconds a pop between these substitutions. And USC, I know they had to at least take one timeout. That's the gamesmanship when we're talking like sign steal and stuff. That's what you need to do. You don't steal their signs. You slow that type of team down.
Yep. You fake injuries and fall down just like Penn State. Wait, did I say that?
Oh, okay.
Oh,
we're ready to talk about some Iowa here then.
On another note, Joey is in Joey. Yes, I'm talking third person. I'm in Arizona this week, and I can do sports betting and. I lost my $25,000 bet, so that's not going to happen. Damn it, NBA.
Who would have thought a 10-legger wouldn't pan out?
A 10-legger with spreads, only $10 to win 25,000. I mean, the odds were in my favor, I think.
You would be losing money if you didn't put that money in on that bet, though, dude.
Right, exactly. My thoughts exactly. But I did have another parlay of Sam Houston covering, even though they're 0-7, and Jackson State covering, and they both are doing it right now. So,
well, Sam Houston remembered their jerseys. UTEP, they brought their home jerseys rather than their away. That's why we have the color versus color name here.
I thought we were just doing Color Rush game.
Nope, dipshits got the wrong jersey.
They shouldn't have said anything. They literally should have just said it was a Color Rush game because I would have totally bought that.
Yeah. So I mean, and once I heard that, I saw it on Twitter and I saw the line. I was like, you know what? I'm going to bet the team that remembered their jerseys. It seems like they're a little more put together right now. So, 14-point lead going into the fourth. So,
right. When I saw the line, I was like, wait, I thought Sam Houston hadn't won yet, and I checked it. Yeah, they're 0-7. UTEP's 2-6, and they were still 4-point favorites or 3.5-point favorites.
But they've been in a lot of games, too. I was watching the BYU game earlier in the year. It was only 14-0. And this is Sam Houston's first year in the FBS. So, I mean.
Right. Ryan Matthews, I don't know what sport you're talking about.
Oh, Diamondbacks. Wrong sport, damn it. Oh, yeah. Well, yeah, well, no, you're betting in Arizona. You got to put a bet on the Diamondbacks while you're down there. You might as well.
No. I was going to put a bet on the Suns last night and got busy with work, but
I really wanted to go to a game too, but they're only in Golden State right now. Or last night they were anyway. So maybe next time.
For next time, bud.
Yep.
But all right, quit stalling. The Minnesota game. How do you feel?
I fucking hate it. I hate everything about that game. I mentioned earlier I got frustrated. I was doing projects at home, trying to do some shit on my ceiling. That didn't work. Turned the Iowa game on. Continued to try to do the projects while they still weren't working, and neither was the Iowa offense. Ended up punching my stapler, putting a staple in my hand. That was the least of my frustrations. That game was the most embarrassing offensive output I have ever seen. You get 2 yards in a second half. Your quarterback he can't do anything, and you as a coaching staff keep him in, and you're breaking the kid. You're doing the same thing you did to Spencer Petras, but Deacon Hill is worse. Get him the fuck out of there just for his own mental stability. I could not be more pissed off. That call at the end of the game, stupid. Very, very bad call. It shouldn't have come down to that. And then also we were 20 yards away from field goal range to win that game, and we can't get 20 yards. I know we were texting in our group chat. It is so utterly frustrating to know that a 2-point deficit is insurmountable when you're a Hawkeye fan. You can't. It is the worst feeling in the world to think, oh my God, this is a 1-possession game. This is 3 points. And it's like, we can't do anything. We can't do anything. We can't move the ball. We can't pass the ball. It is so fucking frustrating.
Sorry, I have to throw this on there for Trent when he watches it tomorrow. It's so many times we sent the gif of they can't keep getting away with it with that punt return, and this is finally the time. It's like, I'm sorry, but it was just like, I can't keep seeing a team that has been outplayed in 6 of 7 games, and they still get away with just winning. Yeah,
I know. And the bad part is,
we were all thinking it's cute and funny and blah blah blah. They could make the playoffs. It's a funny story. Fuck no. This is. It is so bad right now. Yes, I do think a coaching change at Iowa would drastically help. If nothing else, just to bring in new life so that we actually get recruits on offense. I think they need better play calling. The most important thing with the coaching staff, Phil Parker has to stay. You have to either make him the head coach or have him pick the next one, because that man needs to stay.
I don't know how he's not the highest paid assistant in the country anyways, man. You got Big Ten money. You can compete with the SEC paying. Just pay him. I don't even know what the highest assistant, $2 million. He better be tied with them at least.
Yep. I agree.
He is taking, and Iowa gets occasional 5-star. It's mostly 3 to 4 and the occasional 2 or walk-ons, but he's creating them into NFL caliber players, and he is making them. If Phil Parker wasn't there, Iowa would be I mean, honestly, Northwestern. That offense is fucking dreadfully awful.
Oh,
You know,
we wouldn't be we wouldn't even be Northwest. Like our offense is worse than New Mexico State. Like we are the worst offense in the nation,
yeah.
and we're on pace to be the worst offense in the history of football. Like it
So-
is just atrocious.
Couple things on the
Mhm.
right here. I had to put this scoring drive here because I'll be honest, this isn't me trying to be mean. That shouldn't have even been a touchdown or a 2-point game. Look at that scoring drive that you had: 4-yard
Mhm.
run, 2-yard run, face mask, so you get 15 yards there. 4-yard run, pass interference, 15 yards. Offsides, you get half of the distance to the goal. 2-yard run, you're on the 1. 0-yard run, 0-yard run. I believe that was 4th down at that point then.
Mhm.
Unsportsmanlike conduct, fresh set of downs, 1-yard touchdown run. I saw more plays on the drive from the 1-yard line than anything else, and it took 4 plays to get 1 fucking yard.
Mm-hmm. Ryan Matthews, Jimbo for sure. At least I can watch both sides of the ball and not just one.
Fuck, that's a fair point, man. I would say in his, I know there's plenty A&M people that sounds like they're trying to gather money to get him the fuck out of there. I mean, it's
Yep.
At this point, for me, it's not even a frustration because we're not winning. It's frustrating because we're not entertaining. We're nothing. Like it's more frustrating to watch us just piss down our leg and stand there. Like I don't understand it. Last week, Deacon Hill struggling. We don't want to go to Labas. Like start doing Wildcats. Start doing something creative. Just throw the fucking playbook out. Punt on first down. Let's play rugby and just pin them deep and then let our defense score. Let our give our defense more chances to score. Like I don't know what to do. It's just so aggravating.
I want to make sure because it's kind of loading weird on my side. Do you see the stat I have on the screen right now? For people that are just listening, Iowa's offense, and this is from @AlexGukin on Twitter. Iowa's offense ranks 133rd out of 133 teams in first down rate, being one of 2 teams in the nation to go 3 and out on over 50% of their drives at 53.1% of their drives. I mean, that's like asinine. I don't even know how to describe it. That's fucking terrible. I mean,
Yep, and that is them going 3 and out to begin the drive. That's not they actually got a first down and then they went another 3 and out. Like that happens a lot too. I would say getting it into scoring position is probably less than 15% for the season. Yeah.
you want to hear some? You want to hear good news and kind of a sicko news here?
Yeah.
Iowa still can win the Big Ten West. So can every other team, and there can be a 7-way tie at 4 and 5. Look at this schedule, by the way, and you would think like, okay, this is going to need like Northwestern upsetting Penn State. These are all very viable, very winnable back and forth games. Like Iowa would have to lose 3 straight at the end of the year, but it's to lose to Rutgers, full-bound team. Illinois, they've had their moments, and Nebraska, who no offense beat you last year. I mean, that's very doable. Minnesota's games are losing to Ohio State. That's an easy one. Beating Michigan State. I mean, I'm ready for the 7-way tie to figure out who the fuck would get the honor of getting pounded by Ohio State or Penn State.
Right. Yeah. I don't have any idea, man. It's insane.
Jaeger, if you don't think Iowa State plays defense, I guess you don't know ball, man. I don't know. I'm not going to entertain those defense wins. Buy an offense. Christ, you got Big Ten money and you still fucking deal with Kirk.
We can't buy an offense. That's crazy.
You tried with Cade and Seth Anderson and they all got fucking injured, man. I mean, that's the shitty part is you had the players around it. And you know what the actual other shitty thing is? You had a game plan in your scripted first 15 plays. You were throwing on the outs. You were hitting the wide receivers. I don't get why after the first 15 plays, it's like, we can't go back to one of the first 5 plays. We can't throw another out to a wide receiver. I
don't know if I said the stat or not. We had 2 yards in the second half.
Yeah, you could have done anything.
Yeah.
Legit, you would have been better if you would have just done the joking but now kind of real punt on first down. Just keep
Right.
piling them deep and hope you get an interception on the 15-yard line or something.
Mm-hmm.
God, so I'm done. I don't want to talk about it anymore.
Oh, no,
move
you're
on
good.
to whatever we got next. But yeah, I'm looking forward to Northwestern, maybe a get right game. It's in Wrigley. Get the fields ready for that, I guess. I don't know.
The only other people, I forgot to mention this earlier, but I have to throw it up here. The only other people that are so much happier about Michigan's stuff happening is probably Michigan State's PR team. Did you see this? They put a
I
picture
have.
of,
Oh God.
for the people that are listening, they put a picture of Hitler on their screen because they played a YouTube video that just had trivia on it. And I love trivia just more than anyone, you know? And it was like 30 questions in, and it was literally like, hey, what color was SpongeBob SquarePants? Yellow. Haha. Where was Hitler born? Just out of fucking left field, man.
Yep, and this is a program that is going through a sexual assault scandal that just got rid of
Yeah.
Mel Tucker. Like, someone needs man. If you are a PR firm, I would be pitching to Michigan State like fucking crazy.
The only other things I got from this week, Montana State, I just got to throw it out there. They have a kicker that's 6'9". I was watching that game.
Ooh, nice.
Their basketball team only has one player taller than 6'8", and so does their football team. I thought that was kind of crazy. Mechanical engineering. He kind of looks like a little goofy mechanical engineer. I've seen a few at Iowa State back in my day.
Little goofy. I don't think you call him little goofy.
Goofy, goober, one or the other. You've been on Texas since the beginning. Did you hear yours is out for a few weeks?
I did. What do you think they do there? They obviously aren't going to go to Arch, but
Murphy is their backup right now, and I have no clue. I think he played last week when they damn near lost to Houston. I don't, that's the type of thing right now. Oklahoma State's starting to pick up now. Kansas State fucking has another. They just go every year where they have a starter that's enough to be good, and then their backup is just even more amazing. They did it last year with Will Howard. Now it's this year with Avery Johnson. In his first game, he rushed 13 times for 5 touchdowns. I mean, like, it's a 4-way tie for who gets to play Oklahoma in the Big 12 championship game. And I was hoping it was going to be a little easier, like shock Texas, and we'll be fine. We've got 4 teams that are currently tied that can potentially go to Arlington right now.
Yeah. I really all they have to do is hand it off to Brooks until they play Oklahoma again. That dude, I think he's the best back in the nation this year. I know he doesn't have the stats that the Notre Dame back that has, but
I think he's really damn good. I don't know. I still would pick Texas to win the rest of their games, except for another rematch with Oklahoma. They're just that talented.
Yeah.
So we'll see. But Ewers is a big punch to the gut right now. But if he gets back in before the Big 12 championship game, they should be fine.
They'll have a chance. But I mean, and Matthews, I don't know if you want to put in the chat here. I mean, Oklahoma was looking vulnerable. Their defenses looked better until that game. And I don't know if that's because UCF doesn't have the 5 stars. I kind of just think that their school, they've always been able to recruit within. We want Kansas State. I think they've been able to recruit within Florida, and they've just been able to have that speed. And I think that's the biggest thing that can help you compete with Oklahoma. That's why Texas and UCF have been the only teams that have really competed. No one else has had the speed to compete with that Farouk and everyone else.
Right. And I also think that last weekend was just kind of the weekend of close games, man. The USC game was close. USC-Utah game was close. Washington had a close game. Basically, everyone besides Georgia had a damn close game as far as the top 25 goes. Them and Florida State, I think.
Nevada won a game 6-0. I won a live under.
Oh, awesome. What a game.
It was bad. I lost 4 of my 5 bets, and it was that struggling to, like, I was probably $40, $50 on the hole. I was just betting $10 lives. I was like, get this as close to even as possible. Because the other thing is, I don't know if Hawaii is still dealing with the stuff in Maui where they can't play like super late. But I was down to 2 games at that point, and I didn't want to throw $20 on a Washington that I didn't know what the fuck was going to happen. But it was It was a rough Saturday for old Wilkes. I
Oh,
sent
yeah.
you
Well,
screenshots,
yeah. To jump even farther into my frustration on Saturday, they had the UFC pay-per-view 294 that was in the middle of the day. Went 4-1 on my parlay, so of course I missed out on the fucking pay by the last fight. God damn it!
I get it, man. You got to get rid of parlays, or you got to do 2 to 3. Because when you get to 5, I get the amazing payout, but like, man, like that's what happened. Especially UFC. You've seen probably 2 of the biggest like statistical upsets in UFC history this year.
Mhm.
Any fight can be anything,
Oh yeah. See, for me, I like just throwing $20 on a UFC. I mean, it's very well known that I don't pay for UFCs, so this is my way of just having a little fun and entertainment with it. So yeah, I just like throwing. I like the parlays going on that because when you hit big. I love it. But
yeah, for me, it's more of an entertainment thing. If I was, actually, if I lived in a state where there was betting all the time, I would have a whole system. I'd be like you. I'd have a system with a spreadsheet and all that shit. That's what I'd be doing. And yes, probably broke.
So, by the way, Matthew says they're going to be Bama and Georgia in 2 to 3 years. What do you think about that, Joey?
Let's see it first.
There you go.
Yeah, let's see if I mean I get that you have the recruiting and stuff, but that's like saying you're going to be top 5 in and out every single year for the foreseeable future. I mean,
they've got enough talent on them right now where I think they're going to compete. We thought after last year 6 and 7 they're not going to compete the first few years. They're right back to competing in it.
This is the first year maybe since we had the USC Texas games back in the day that the SEC isn't like the conference. So let's just calm our tits a little bit. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, they're probably not the conference because they're not spying on people like the Big Ten does.
I see you. I see you. See your play calls.
Yes, your play calls. Well, anything else on week 8? I had some scores in there, but like you said, I know you didn't watch too many, and I don't give a shit discussing Duke, whoever. I can't remember who they played, but other than they got cool helmets, I love.
Yeah. Do you have a picture of that?
What's that?
Did you have a picture of those?
No, if you can look it up and screen share it just so everyone knows. I think those Gothic helmets that they have, I think they look great on the football uniforms. I think on the basketball uniforms, they look fucking stupid. I think it looks so much better just on the football ones.
It's the white ones with the.
Well, that's very true. Ryan said Saban will be gone. I don't know. He might be getting his second win. He's only 78 right now, 76.
Right.
Excuse me. Also, speaking of Saban, while you're looking that up as well, I think every coach, with as much as they're getting paid, they should be forced to do the weekly sports show and talking with the media like they do, like him breaking down plays and taking questions from fans and stuff, because he does more than just the press conference. I think they need to have more than that. Well, which one are we looking at here? The top one there.
Yeah, do you like the white or the blue?
I like the white one, but the blue one doesn't look bad either there.
No, I like both of them.
Can you zoom in on that?
There we go. There's the blue one. Sorry. And there's the white one.
Woke Riley skipped his show. Well, he's too busy interviewing with fucking Las Vegas here, dude. Las Vegas or Los Angeles, one of the two. Both of them need a fucking offense.
Yeah.
Both of them, very good chance Caleb Williams goes to him too.
Word on the block is he would like to support the Wave and is going to be in Iowa City next year.
No.
That's word on the street.
Okay, yeah. He's going to go from Norman, Oklahoma to the beautiful beaches of Los Angeles to the beautiful cornfields of Iowa City, huh?
Yep, he knows it. He's like, man, I really want to beat that buck hunter record at Brothers and have a huge pint. That's what I want.
Go to the Vine every Tuesday, get some beers there.
Yeah, Wheezy Wednesdays. Yeah, you go get pint glasses of Sambuca.
Do you think he'd live in Iowa City, or do you think he's going to be more like North Liberty, like Coralville area?
He would buy Coralville Lake, like the whole lake, just all of it.
He doesn't want no neighbors, just all to himself.
Yep, exactly.
You know what? Honestly, with as much as he limits reporters and stuff, that isn't even that crazy of a statement. He would just take a whole lake and live there by himself.
Oh yeah, I would be surprised if PJ Fleck doesn't have his own lake up there in fucking Minnesota, 10,000 lake country.
You know what PJ Fleck reminds me of? I was watching that game. First off, I know why Iowa fans get mad watching him. He's such a tryhard. He, for some reason, I can totally see him being him. Have you seen I'm gonna get it wrong. American Psycho, is that it with Christian Bale?
Yeah.
Where he's fucking the hookers. I can see PJ Fleck doing that scene, looking in a mirror at himself, flexing. but he's also gonna have his stupid ass button-up tie, or he's gonna have a tie on too.
Yeah, he'll have like that as a crop top, or just cuts off here, so he doesn't get anything on his shirts. Yeah, that's just his sex pullover, quarter zip.
Oh, he is just the worst to watch. And to be honest, nothing afterwards. Everyone's pissed because like he's saying there's nothing controversial. If your team won that way, he'd say there's nothing. What's he gonna say? You know? Oh no, we definitely stole that game. Thank you, refs. You gotta fucking say that.
Yeah, like I said before, there's no reason that game should even came down to that. So anyone who's still crying about it, yes, it sucks to lose. Again, we had 2 yards in the second half.
Joey, we're close enough. We're in the trust tree here, right?
Mm-hmm.
As an Iowa State fan, that was kind of funny seeing Iowa fans bitch about the refs dictating.
Oh yeah. I get it.
I'll be honest. I was sitting here and everyone's going, I can't believe the refs dictate. It's like, so it can happen, huh? Like,
no, it only happens to us for real, not you guys.
But it's for real. When you say it's just fucking fake. But I'll be honest, Iowa State fans bitch way too much about referees. But it was kind of nice seeing one time. But that was the biggest con job I've ever fucking seen, man.
Oh yeah. Oh, I agree. But yeah, I don't have anything else from last week. I am looking forward to Utah, Oregon this week. I don't know if that's where you want to go next.
Well, let's jump into Iowa State real quick. I'm not going to have much. Yeah. I mean, again, I'm Homer. I think Iowa State's going to win. At Baylor, I don't think they've been playing better. I don't know if that's been enough, but Iowa State's a 2.5 point favor, or 2.5 point underdog. Over under is 48.5. The game's at 2:30 on ESPN Plus. Fucking hate it, streaming only. But
really?
Yeah. One, I hope we bring our fucking tents. It's gonna be. I don't care what time it is down in Texas or what month it is. It's gonna be hotter than anywhere else. Hotter than Iowa, that's for damn sure. We have this curse where Matt Campbell doesn't do great in these games that were like. The over-under is within 3 on both sides. I think we're kind of getting out of that. We've been playing well. I hope even with this bye week, we can keep the momentum going from the Cincinnati game. And I think also with us being tied for second, first off, it's not like we were in first place and we were kind of our heads were getting a little big. And when we came in pre-ranked in 2021, I think that's enough where it's like we have 4 teams we got to beat and we can kind of control our destiny. We've already beat 1. We got 2 on the horizon. You know, I honestly think there's a very realistic shot with how Kansas is. They haven't played up to what they can be with their defense. I think there's a legit shot we can be 7-3 hosting Texas on that late Saturday in November. That's me being very optimistic, but it's not like we got any juggernauts coming up here, man. We got pulling up the schedule. I mean, we got at Baylor, Kansas, at home, at BYU. So I mean. At BYU is probably going to be the toughest game in my opinion. Kansas's offense isn't what it was when they have they have Daniels their starter in. So, I mean, I think Iowa State wins this one, so they cover. But, you know, I'm never going to count out Dave Aranda, man. He's a pretty legit coach.
Well, it sounds like everyone in Waco is starting to count him out, though.
Dude,
everyone hates him.
That's the thing I've heard as well, and it's like with Waco. Baylor has had Heisman Trophy winners. They have had larger success than Iowa State, and we all know it. But it's like with where you were with Art Briles, with everything else going on, I understand where you've been, but like where you're at right now, I don't get that one, man. I would if we could find a spot for Andrew. I think he's a defensive guy, so we're not going to get rid of Peacock. But like fucking any team, I think would honestly, you know where they need him is fucking USC with Woke Riley out there, as Ryan would call him.
Yep. 100% agree. Yeah, I don't see any reason why Iowa State can't be 7-3. I don't think there's anyone in the Big 12 that's like super scary outside of the top two with Texas and Oklahoma. So, yeah, I agree. I think that they could be 7-3.
So, speaking of Iowa State, I told Matthews because he always has to put it in the damn chat at the end, so I just made a personal slide for him here. Who has a better schedule right now or a better record? Iowa State is tied with Drake right now at 4-3, but
there it is.
Excuse me, but unfortunately for Matthews, we got a bit of an advantage. We got 5 games left in order to add to our win total. Drake only has 3. Now, Joey, what's Drake's toughest game left?
I'm gonna go Presbyterian.
You think it's Presbyterian at home? I hear they're pretty good.
I bet so.
I mean, Butler on the road to end the season, late November. Do you know what it's like playing at Butler late in the year?
Well, it's right next to Indiana, and it's both cold and gross. So yeah, it's probably pretty bad.
That's what I'm saying.
So when they're at home versus Stetson, is that just a bunch of Stetson Bennett's that's running around? Like, do they clone them? Like,
well, I was gonna say they were playing a bunch of 27-year-olds, but they're not going to play BYU. So I mean, I don't know.
That's good.
Speaking of Stetson, did we ever figure out what the fuck happened with that guy in the NFL? It's personal reasons why he left early in the year, and we just haven't heard anything else since.
I'm assuming he's selling cars in Georgia. I have no idea what he's doing.
I didn't say I'm checking it out quickly, but that was it was just very out of nowhere, man. So I don't know.
Left for personal reasons?
Yeah, he left for personal reasons. He still has no timetable as of 12 hours ago.
Weird.
Yeah. Huh. So, hopefully we're making fun of him and something serious is happening, but
no kidding.
Stetson, bunch of 27-year-olds, and we'll leave it at that.
There it is.
So Matthews will keep up on that weekly or until we have to go by win percentage. No, now we're moving the goalpost. Typical Oklahoma, just fucking changing the metrics, huh?
Dave Peterson, I think he'd live in the Amana colonies.
Yeah, Lincoln Riley. I read that one. Yeah, could you imagine Lincoln Riley living in the colonies up there? No.
Have you seen that dude? He doesn't even know what a fucking bratwurst is. He's not living over there. He'd just be a waste of space with all that good food.
Waste of space. Yeah, Oklahoma fans think he's just a waste of air, but we'll let them have that opinion. I definitely don't think that. So.
Right.
You already alluded to it, man. There weren't, honestly, we've been spoiled with a lot of top ranked matchups the last 2-3 weeks here. Not very many big games, but like the ones I have highlighted here: 5-2 BYU at number 8 Texas, 9 Oregon at 14 Utah, 16 Duke at 21 Louisville, which will be interesting how that shapes up in the ACC race. Now, honestly, now that Clemson's out, which is kind of, you know me, I'm always rooting for the underdog. It's kind of nice to have some new faces in there competing.
Right. Right.
And then one Georgia neutral site at Florida, largest cocktail party. I guess first, didn't you go to that one year?
No, I went to Tim Tebow's Florida team at Tennessee.
That was it.
I just got hammered on Jack Daniels and lost at poker and slept the game away in the truck. That's what you're thinking.
Oh, no. Who won?
Yep. I don't know, but I won a $350 bet with my boss. He was a Tennessee graduate.
Oh, good. Well, go Gators, I guess, then.
Yep. I gave Florida 25 points, and they won by 27. Yep. For $350. Yep.
I'm sorry. That's also very, if you've ever drank with Joey, that's classic Joey. He will give you the stupidest bet. And it's one of those, I'd be dumb if I didn't take this.
Yep.
Like him as a Tennessee fan couldn't not take 25 points from you. That would be
right.
Insane.
Right.
Oh,
yeah, he said he wouldn't bet me unless I gave him 25 points. I was like, it's Tim Tebow in Florida. Of course I'll give it to you. And at one point they were up 42. And then in the fourth quarter, they sat Tebow and a couple other starters, and that's when Tennessee came back, and they woke me up by him just putting money on my lap. And he's like, "Motherfucker, you didn't even watch the goddamn game." Nope, I didn't.
But the most of, and that's where your gambling addiction started, Joey.
Well, speaking of, fucking UTEP just scored, so now the Sam Houston's not covering the 3.5. God.
That's why I just took a money line, man. I don't bet enough money where minus 110 and minus 190 is going to affect the money I make too much.
Right.
So especially with a game like this, you got to know, man. If you don't know anything about Sam Houston or whoever you're betting, give yourself as many points as possible for the the minimal lesser bet that you're going to get.
Oh man, like I said before, it's all entertainment for me. I'm in states where I can bet very, very seldom, and I just want to get money on the games while we were playing tonight, or while we were podding tonight. And yeah, just happy to be here.
You know, speaking of betting, they've come out with the betting odds here real quick before we go over the big games. They do have JJ McCarthy. We do a little online poll or a friends bet here with the Heisman, and your JJ McCarthy, he's leading the Heisman right now.
Yeah, and who's number 2? Mayan guy also, Michael Penix.
Yeah. Michael Penix, he's been it's funny that only won that game. All of a sudden, JJ McCarthy on the cheating Wolverines immediately jumps everyone. But,
yeah. Even though he's still 700 yards, only 1 touchdown ahead, but 700 yards behind. Yeah.
Yeah. That's the one thing that I don't get. It's like you've been efficient in 8 games, but regardless, it's been fun having like going into last year, Caleb Williams was number 1 start to finish. You know, this kind of reminds me of the Joe Burrow year where he was in the plus 1,000. I can't remember what he started. It was like way out of it. He was not even remotely close.
Right.
And then jumps to the top at the end of the year, which there's been a lot of chatter about like Carson Beck jumping in and all of these like certain SEC players that all of a sudden once we get into the last end of the season, because they rank everyone so high, it artificially inflates. When Georgia destroys number 22 Missouri, it looks just that much better.
Right.
You know?
Well, if you pull that, or can you pull that back up real quick? The graphic that you had. So just think if LSU had a defense, Jaden Daniels would be running away with this with 3,000 yards and 30 touchdowns already. Like, yeah, it'd be his.
I don't know how he isn't higher. Honestly, that defense is going to keep him in the conversation. They just need to play enough. They need to not let him score more than 28 points. And Jaden Daniels has to throw for that many yards. I mean, I think he's got a good shot at jumping up towards the end. I also picked up Dylan Gabriel because I saw what he did versus Iowa State. If he keeps playing efficient the last 5 games, and because he's number 3 on this list for total passing yards, he doesn't have a tough game other than Texas at the end of the year if they've beaten Arlington. You know,
right? I agree.
And no offense, his defense is kind of bad enough now where he's gonna have to play well.
Oh yeah,
the game rides with Dylan Gabriel playing well or not.
Yep, I agree. It's the same thing with Jaden Daniels that I was bringing up. Like the LSU's defense isn't USC bad, but it's pretty damn bad right now. Their cornerbacks are very bad.
It's down there with bad defenses, dude.
To answer your question, Randy, I don't know when I was going to get rid of Hill. They just aren't because that's not what
this needs to be the week thrown by.
Yeah, that's not what Kirk and Brian do. The Ferences are loyal. That's why Brian's still there.
Well, we talked about it in the preseason. That was the one thing that really made me believe Campbell was buying in. Was he fired his best friend? He got rid of who he needed to. He finally gave in from this asinine, stupid idea that you don't need a special teams coach, and he made the changes that were kind of gut punches. He felt he didn't need to, and look where we're at now with a decimated roster at the beginning of the season. We got a winning record, and we're talking about potentially bowling in a year where we're having to start. We have 25 freshmen that are playing significant minutes in every single game.
Right.
I mean, you know, that's unfortunately what Iowa fans are. Iowa fans are going to take the 6-1 over 4-3, but I guarantee they take the coach that's going to make those changes and willing to put the ego aside rather than, well, we're bowling again. It's not good enough for me.
Is it 4-3 where we lose close games, but it's not insurmountable to be down 2 points? I will take that all day over 6-1.
Yeah. Oh, you were texting that at the beginning, or right when that field goal happened. the game's over. I don't have to watch this. Like, I don't think we can get 2 points.
Right.
2 points and done.
Yeah, like I said in the chat, I went to Menards. Like, I was just done. I was like, okay, game's over. And if there was half a quarter left, if not more, like, what?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. We're done with the Iowa game, so.
Until next week.
Right.
So we got the big games coming up here. We're talking about Oregon, Utah is your biggest game, right?
Oh God, yeah. In Salt Lake City, Oregon, 1 week away removed from losing to Washington, that really close game, and they stomped whoever they played last week. Can't remember who it was, but yeah, Utah looked good against USC. So yeah, it was Washington State that Oregon beat. Yeah, Oregon looks good. Utah's defense looks awesome. We'll see if they can slow down.
Utah's enough to stop Bo Nix.
Bo Nix is a weird animal, man. They dump and dive, with the best of them. They don't throw a lot of big plays. So if they can make their way down the field, I don't know. Utah's got a pretty stout defense.
Mm-hmm.
If hold a gun to my head, make me pick, I'm going to take Utah covers, and it's lower scoring. I'd go with the under.
Give me 1 second. I'm going to pull up do you know what the over-under on it is right now?
It is Oregon minus 6.5, over under 47.5, 47.5.
So it's basically. Speaking of covering, Sam Houston State's down at TD now, Joey.
What?
UTEP just scored, dude.
Again? They just had back-to-back touchdowns?
You know when I knew it was going to be a bad bet before the game was when I realized that they spelled Bearcats with a K. I was like, they can't even spell Bearcats right. Why do I think they can throw a football right?
God damn it. Well, that's fun.
Personally, I think the biggest game for me is going to be 5-2 BYU versus number 8 Texas. With them having a backup, Texas was given that game versus Houston. That was one of the most atrocious spots I've ever seen in that Houston game. Texas had the lead in Oklahoma, lost it at that point. They've had a lot closer games than what you'd imagine. That's with Quinn Ewers in there. I think BYU has a decent shot at upsetting Texas here.
Yep.
And that would be throwing one. I'm going to believe in that because it's going to put Iowa State in a little bit better position. But just as well here, if you give BYU that win, they're immediately in the conversation of going to the Big 12 championship. With a month left in the season, which other than them, everyone else in the new 4 has been kind of god awful.
Right.
Houston, UCF, and Cincinnati are 1-11 in the Big 12.
Yeah. So when we were talking about Iowa State's schedule earlier, and you brought up BYU, and then I saw them on the Texas schedule, I was like, wait, is BYU in the Big 12? Did I miss that? And I forgot the 4 joined this year. Yeah, because everyone else has been so bad.
Yeah. Dude, it was one of those, like, I thought preseason that UCF was going to compete. I thought, honestly, the UCF team that played Oklahoma this last week, I thought that was going to be them all season, and they just have not been here.
Right.
They have not been that team. And then, honestly, next year, if you look at the next 4 that we're bringing in, we're going to lose Oklahoma and Texas, but we're bringing in a very stout Utah that we've just been talking about. Arizona State just competed with Washington. I think they got the right coach. If you know that young guy, these kids were competing versus Washington, and they're not playing in a bowl game this year. It doesn't matter what they do. They have a ban, but they're playing pretty well. Not great, but well enough. Arizona, they have that new freshman we were talking about a couple weeks back, and oh Christ, this was not legit. But then Colorado, the probably the biggest story that we're bringing into the Big 12.
Yeah,
but that. It's going to be a fun conference, man. And the Big Ten as well, now that, no offense, it's always been the Big Ten East. Now you're going to have 4 teams that I think can immediately compete. You're going to go divisionless in that new Big Ten. It is going to be, I'm not already looking forward to next year, but it is going to be a fun one.
Yeah, man, it's sad. We've only got really a month left of the regular season of college football. So shits went fast. Yeah, to touch on your point of, what the fuck? Oh, Utah. joining your guys' conference. Did they ever decide where they want to have the Big 12 championship for basketball, or you guys?
They actually decided we're staying in Kansas until 2031, and that's when we're going to renegotiate terms. And to be honest, the way your mark's going, I wouldn't be shocked we're at 16 teams next year if he doesn't try and bring in 4 more basketball exclusive, bring in UConn, bring in Gonzaga, bring in a St. John. He wants to get into the Northeast.
Oh yeah,
it would help create some travel partners, with West Virginia and all them. Sadly, and I hate talking about conference realignment, even though we're stable now. But I mean, if this ACC falls apart as well with how they've tried to cobble it together, with us being a 16, you could potentially bring in a Louisville or a Virginia Tech or some other teams that are in that Northeast corridor.
Yeah, Virginia would be a nice get for you guys. If you got a Villanova, that'd be a nice get for basketball, that type of stuff.
If you want to be honest, if I had to pick 4 teams that the Big 12 brings in, it's probably going to be Oregon State, Washington State, Gonzaga basketball only, and then I'm trying to think like the biggest name that you could bring in basketball only in basketball. If they couldn't get UConn because they're in the American, it'd probably be like Villanova or something.
Yeah, it'd almost have to be Villanova. Yeah.
Yeah. So those are all pipe dreams. That's just college basketball, which will start in a couple weeks anyways. But yeah, I would say I'm pretty pumped. It was weird having a bye week and just being able to enjoy any game and not have to exclusively watch one. But I'm excited for Cyclones to get back out there.
Hell yeah, man. Iowa plays Northwestern this weekend. Should be a game that they can win. We'll see. So
they got to play the bye week?
No, yeah. They should be playing the bye week. God damn it. I'm getting ahead of myself.
I was just going to say, I was like, what?
I'm getting ahead of myself. I have one more audit to do before I go on vacation next week, so I won't be on here next week. But, yeah.
Oh, mother.
Yep.
Well, you send us your thoughts. I'm sure they're going to be all positive about it.
I'll be getting spooky up in Salem, Massachusetts for Halloween.
Ooh. Spooky season. You got a costume yet?
Yep, we are being vampires.
Ooh, so, yeah. Energy vampires?
I mean, that's what I do a podcast for. So all of you get...
you all get to put up with my boring ass shit. But no, Rochelle got us capes.
2 of listeners here.
Exactly. Rochelle got us capes and these cool fake teeth things. And yeah, we're going to do it up. It's something easy to travel with.
I'm going to go as Ryan's favorite coach, Lincoln Riley.
There it is.
No, I'm just kidding. I'm just going to be Andy Reid again, probably.
Nice.
Just shave the mustache.
I thought about really being Hayden Fry sometime again. I really liked that costume. I think my favorite... All right.
Let's do this before since I won't be here next week. Do you have your favorite costume you've ever worn? Or a top 3 or something like that?
Andy Reid, that is legit probably number 1. I was a lumberjack like 5 years ago. And to be honest, that was more practical. Like I didn't have to bring around an axe. People kind of knew it was like a red and black flannel. On top of it was a cold night and it was a thick flannel. And as a big guy, any costume like that, I'm sweating my ass off. It was so nice standing outside. I was like in a thick flannel, but not thick enough like sweatshirt where I have to keep warm. It was just cool enough where I can just drink outside a little sweat, but I'm chugging a beer and I can stand being outside.
Yeah, and you got the beanie on anyway, so just as a built-in sweatband. Yeah.
I think I was a blue M&M in 2nd grade. That'll be 3.
All right. No, you did Home Alone one year, didn't you?
Oh shit! Yeah. No, never mind. Get the blue M&M fucking out of here. I was Harry from Home Alone.
Yep. I was like, how did he not say that one? So
no, fuck. Oh my god, Blaine's gonna kill me.
Hell yeah. That's awesome.
My buddy Blaine is tall and skinny, and I'm short and fat. So Harry and Marv was a perfect combination. But we didn't win our fucking this. I'm sorry. I'm just going to go off a little bit of a rant here. We went to a costume party at a bar, and I don't expect 10s out of 10s and organized, but they literally gave we put in some effort into this. We bought a pillow and ripped it open and put feathers on these hats. We bought these trench coats from Goodwill. We put effort into this. And we go to this bar, this shitty bar. It's called Sips in Ames. And we fucking lost to a motherfucker in a refrigerator box that drew a circle on the front of it, and he was the Iowa State fucking Campanile. Go fuck yourself, man. I'm sorry. That got me worked up now thinking of Halloween 20 fucking 2012, you know?
God damn, that sucks. That
Oh,
sucks.
it was rigged. It was all fraternities and sororities,
Of
and they
course.
brought people in to cheer for them. Fuck that. I was so mad. I'm madder about that than if Iowa State loses. I still remember that Halloween.
I would say,
Terrible.
I'm pretty sure it's your profile picture on something still. I don't know what social media.
Oh, I switch between that on Facebook all the fucking time.
That is, yeah.
Crowbars up.
Mine are probably, I don't know, I really like Hayden Fry. That was awesome to wear in Chicago. I got to go with the Kimbo Slice. That was my costume for forever. Just the
Rip.
Yep.
Rip the do-rag with a tap-out sweatshirt over a fucking wife beater with shorts.
Now, with that costume, how'd you get all that black paint off your face, Joey?
I didn't do that.
Oh, oh, you didn't wear? Okay, never mind.
No.
Maybe I misremembered it.
No. No, there are 0 pictures of Joey in blackface.
He was just wearing the do-rag. I was just joking.
I was roofing at the time, so I was very tan, but I wasn't quite that.
There you go.
Yeah, and then I think my third one was when I was Mankind 3 years ago and scared the shit out of my niece and my 2 nephews. They hate that. Like, I'll bring the box out and just open it, and Maisie starts screaming. She hates that shit. Yep, that makes me so happy.
Oh, shit. Well, and then now we're on Halloween. Let's fucking keep going. What favorite candy to get Halloween?
Ooh, I'm a sours type of guy. Like, if I'm gonna go out and trick or treat and get stuff, so like Sour Patch Kids, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Twizzlers. I like the little Twizzler nibs. Yeah, I think all time probably Reese's.
Do you like big nibs or little nibs?
Ooh, I like pepperoni nibs.
Oh,
I mean,
sorry,
what?
I wasn't talking candy. I think I go 3 Musketeers, man. I don't know why. It's something about that little velvety center there. I'm sorry. I'm trying to think of ones that are not Reese's peanut butter cups. That's just the best candy.
Right. And technically with Reese's, I mean, they have the Reese's eggs, they have the Reese's Christmas trees. It's kind of a every holiday thing. So yeah, I'll stick with my Sour Patch Kids and Twizzler stuff. But
okay,
yeah,
probably Kit Kat too. A fun thing that you can do to piss people off. I think I'm gonna do it tomorrow if we got them. We got a bucket with candy at work. I think I'm just gonna take a Kit Kat, make sure someone's watching me, and not break them off. And I think I'm just gonna bite down the middle, and make sure they see that I'm biting through 2 to 3 Kit Kats at the same time, eating it the wrong way.
People get so. How do you eat string cheese? Do you pull it apart?
You pull it apart.
Nope.
Am I just raw dogging it?
Yeah. I usually eat it with beef sticks, so one next to each other. Just bite it down that way.
When I eat string cheese, I actually hold it from the base and I close my eyes and I don't even pull it apart. I just eat it
all the way.
Eat it all in one piece.
Yeah. Can you do that again, Riley Reed? I missed that.
Oh, I learned from the best. Her, Abella, who else? Lana's up there probably.
Oh man,
maybe Angela. I don't know.
Lexi.
It depends on how good of a Halloween am I having?
Christine
where I gotta
Stevens.
Figure out who.
Yeah. Corey Chase.
Oh no, we're going from college football to PH.
I mean, if we were really wanting to, you have the 2 hosts that could do like a Pornhub top 25 if we really wanted to.
I mean, we gotta have a
maybe in a couple of weeks.
Which porn star could steal signs the best at a Michigan game?
Ooh.
Who's got that attention to detail?
Brittany Amber.
Oh, Brittany Amber.
Yep.
Yep. Angela White gets into character pretty well. I bet you she could wear a neutral colored hat and a hoodie. Yeah. No one would recognize her. Until she turned around and you go, yeah, I know who that is.
Does Jim Harbaugh have a stepmom? Because that's the only ones I've done research on. So I don't know.
Oh no, I'm stuck on the opponent's sideline and my camera's facing the sidelines. What can I ever do? By the way, that was actually going to be the perfect. I forgot to bring this up. Connor Stallions. Yep. That is the perfect fucking name for a porn star.
Oh, yeah.
And it's wasted on a Michigan assistant here, man.
He's either a porn star or he is the horse trainer that gets disqualified at the Kentucky Derby first event of the season every single year. And then he
But
just
it's
goes
because
and is like chugging mojitos and making stupid bets on the side.
I'm gonna be honest. It feels like Connor Stallions, whatever profession he'd be in, he'd somehow cheated it. Like if Connor Stallions worked in that Kentucky Derby, like you're talking about, I feel like he'd give the horses PEDs, and you go,
Yep.
well, of course, his name's Connor Stallions.
Right.
He's not gonna have a bad horse under his name,
Right.
You know,
Right. Or instead of like that power slap league that Dana White has, it's a power kick league where they just donkey kick each other. Connor Stallions would be the champ in that. Oh yeah.
How the fuck did he ever come up with that power slap league?
I don't know. Oh, he's probably Connor Stallions, the backup QB in Wyoming.
Ooh,
Yep.
fuck it. I think that's the winner
There
too.
it is.
Connor Stallion, like
Mhm.
because everyone all year, excuse me, Oklahoma's like thinking like actually like, hey, Arnold Jackson. I'm sorry, I can't remember their backup, but they're like, oh, we need to see him in. It was Hunter Deckers, dude. We are with Rocco Beck. We need to see JJ Cole. Everyone in Wyoming, it doesn't matter. The quarterback could be playing for the Heisman. We need Connor Stallions starting for the Wyoming Cowboys.
Yep. Yeah, I thought maybe, let's see what else. He could be a dirt truck driver, like dirt truck
driver,
racing.
I can see that. I mean, his CB handle would probably be like rodeo or something. Or style.
Hell yes. Oh, man, this is good. We should do one of these names every week. I like this.
Well, I had another one. I guess first off, did you hear about Did you watch the Ohio State game at all before Iowa?
I watched most of it until Ohio State started pulling away.
Did you watch it with sound?
No, it was on my multi-view.
So Gus Johnson was pissing everyone off because he gave Marvin Harrison the nickname Maserati Marv, and I put it in here, like because it's like for me, I was trying to think of what would the names of our quarterbacks and coaches and stuff be, and what would be good car equivalents. Like the one I have here at the very top, and it's not even our teams, but I had Jeep Grand Cherokee Cousins for Kirk Cousins because it's kind of like a reliable. I think you also have to be a certain cultish like fan of Jeep in order to really like a Jeep Grand Cherokee, even though they're very good cars. That's what I thought of Kirk Cousins as.
Yeah. Yeah, I would you have Torrey Taylor, Deacon Hill, Brian Ferentz, Matt Campbell, Caleb Williams. I'm gonna go with Kia Taylor. I think that would be a good name for a Kia, and he's
Kia Taylor.
Yeah, he's foreign, he's reliable. Yeah,
came from overseas. Yep.
Does all the things at a discount price.
See, I was trying to do that, but I couldn't figure out how to make Toyota Taylor I was like, it was like Taylor-Royota or something.
Oh, yeah.
But I was thinking the exact same thing, an overseas reliable vehicle.
Toyota.
I had an R in there. That sounded
I think
bad.
You know what I think Brian Ferentz car would be? I think he would be the pace car in a NASCAR race because he's still got the same brand as coaches and other cars behind him, but he's holding everyone back.
Right.
He is just holding everyone back, and once he gets out of the way, that offense is going to fly. Brian Ferentz is a pace car in a NASCAR race.
I like that. I like that. For me, he is the hand-me-down that you get from your grandma right before she goes to the retirement home. It sputters, it barely moves, and you're just there because it was in the family.
See, I was thinking like Deacon Hill. I was thinking he was like that beat up like Crown Vic.
Oh yeah,
he can get you there.
Yep.
But he's big. He's kind of unreliable.
Yep.
Yep.
He's the farm truck. He's there. He can get the work done when it has to, but man, it's not going to be pretty.
Yeah, and it might also not get done either.
Yeah, and you might get lost and just go on an errant run. The axle falls off.
You know what he feels like? Just at that size, he's also like the car with the touchy brakes. You just a little tap and you're immediately fucking stopped.
Yep. Oh, he could be like a grain truck where the brakes just go out all the fucking time and you can't go anywhere besides down the gravel road because God forbid we got on the highway and actually move.
Well, what car is Kirk Ferentz? Try and alliterate it too. Ferrari Ferentz?
No, absolutely not. Fiat Ferentz. Best bang for your value. He's going to get you there, but he's not going to get you all the way there.
Yeah,
Yep.
and it doesn't have to be pretty.
Yep.
Offensive efficiency, get the fuck out of here.
Yep.
Hunting. That's how we're doing
You're
it.
going to get 90 miles to the gallon. You're going to get where you need to go. Nothing splashy, nothing flashy. Yeah. You don't even have a CD player or Bluetooth.
I was trying to think like Camaro Campbell was the one I was thinking of because he's the nicest sports car that we've ever had at Iowa State. He's no Ferrari, he's no Lamborghini, but a Camaro's a pretty fucking nice car when here at Iowa State standards. We've had Geo Metros and what else? We've had Saturns, you know.
Yep.
We get a fucking Camaro, we're like, this is pretty fucking nice here, isn't it?
Camaro, he was cool in the late 2010s when the Transformers movies were still coming out. Now he's just a novelty. Sits in the garage.
Yep. See, I'm glad we went down this. I'm trying to think of other coaches because I was putting down some prominent people.
Mm-hmm.
Matthews has Kirk as a Honda Civic, not impressive but won't die, and I agree with that 100%.
Oh yeah.
Yep. What's oh my god, Camry. That's the other one I was thinking with Kirk. Kirk was like, what is the most economical, like, it'll get you from A to B car,
right? And
just because the best ability is availability, that makes him top 10.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it reminds me of.
So Saban to me is like the early 90s, mid 90s Mercedes Benz that every like rich, older, retired lawyer has. It's not flashy. He's frugal. He's smart. He gets the job done, and he's always going to be successful. That's Nick Saban for me.
What's
the Mersaban? A Mersaban.
Oh, a Mersaban.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah! No, I can't come up with anything better than that. What would Ogeron be?
Oh God, he is the Redeemer from Righteous Gemstones. The big monster truck that they drive.
And it's in purple and gold. Yeah, that's him.
Oh, yeah. Fuck, I didn't even think of that. The purple and gold monster truck.
Hell yeah.
Go Tigers around across the side there.
Hell yes. That's Ed Ogeron. Just slaying that pussy with that monster truck.
Brian Kelly would be a forklift or not forklift, a scissor lift. Because that one time he had a kid die out there. Sorry, that brought it down quite quick. I'm trying to think any other ones on the fly though.
Art Briles is the van with all the windows painted.
Oh no. The Art Briles is a free candy van, and there's a little asterisk at the bottom that says "Just kidding."
I didn't mean it.
I didn't know.
That he bought from the Penn State guy. God damn it,
Sandusky.
Yeah, that he bought from Sandusky.
Yeah, he bought it at the Second Mile Foundation. Huh?
Oh my God, this is terrible.
You know what? Actually, was speaking, bringing this all full circle, like back to Michigan.
Mm-hmm.
The worst thing is like and I've heard a lot of people saying it on different talk shows.
Yeah.
Whatever punishment they're going to come up with Michigan is going to be so disappointing because even if you think about it, vacating wins, Penn State got theirs back within like 5 to 10 years.
Right.
So half of their punishment was, first off, they were fined $60 million, but they were put on ESPN so much because they knew eyes would be on there that they kept going back to them.
Mm-hmm.
So they made their money back. They got their wins back. Nothing even fucking happened.
Right.
And people get mad when you still make fun of them. It's like when people make fun of the Astros. It's like, it's the one thing we can do because you didn't have a punishment.
Yeah.
You got everything back in the end.
Yep. And it goes back to our first topic of the night with the Harbaugh stuff. Like, I don't think anything's going to happen to him. Is the undercover parked van? Yes. Winner.
Let's see here. I was trying to pull up a quick van here. Yeah, you get it. It doesn't need to be. We can all imagine the van with the satellite and the binoculars out there.
That's what Ryan Matthews says Jim Harbaugh was. The undercover van parked across your street.
That's fucking perfect.
Mm-hmm. That was good.
Shit, man. I can't think of any other funny shit to talk about here.
Nah, me either, unfortunately. But yeah, look forward to this weekend, and then I'll be back on not next week, but the week after Iowa puts up 6 points against Northwestern and comes away with the win.
6-2, baby.
That's
We're calling it now.
Ooh.
So, well, we appreciate everyone joining us here. Be sure to share with your friends. It's always fun when we have you guys joining in live and asking these questions and kind of throwing some spin zones at us and stuff. But be sure to follow us, Pulse of the Heartland, and See you all next week.
Bye, everybody.